Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Big C's. Welcome to the Big C Show. I am here with John JP over here. Thank you guys for joining us. What a crazy week it has been. An unbelievable week. Team USA wins gold. It's been a while since we've been on the show. JP, I know you've been looking from afar, but what a week it's been here. How are you doing?
Doing good. A little jealous of the night at 11, but otherwise.
Hey, John, you
Holding
know
steady.
me. If you were here in Florida, you would have been partying with us. So,
Yeah, no.
but shouts out to Jeremy, Rockin' Nose channel. Unable to be here. Hope he gets better soon. He's feeling a little bit under the weather. Um, send out your guys' love. Appreciate everybody in the chat for joining us today. We got a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to cover here. Jim will be joining us here shortly. But before we get started, let's kind of talk a little bit about the Florida Panthers here. Are the Florida Panthers done? Are they is at losing the last two games? Their room for losing and margins are very, very slim. Losing last night was awful, was especially after gaining the lead in the first few minutes of that third period and then just losing it again. They end up tying it with less than 2 minutes to go. But then, just defensively just didn't look good. Shouts out to Jeremy here. He's with us. Thank you for being on the chat, Jeremy. We love you, man. Hope you get better soon. But, John, what did you think about last night's game and the Florida Panthers and in the last two games? Now, we all seen what happened Saturday against Buffalo, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we all, or was it? It wasn't Saturday. What was it? I think Friday.
It was Friday.
Friday. Sorry, my days are all messed up. But Friday against Buffalo, they played really well. Now, Buffalo's been on a tear here the last couple games, but Friday, that non-goaltender interference call that went the other way, which, Florida ties that game, they at least get a point. Going into overtime, you never know what happens with 3-on-3. Now, are the Florida Panthers done? Do you think we should rebuild? What do you think here in the last couple of games here?
Well, my stance has been the same since the break started, which is, we should just ride it out with what we have. Don't touch anything at the trade deadline unless we're getting rid of one of the smaller pieces. I was at the game last night.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, that was.
So you were able to go to the game last night and
yeah.
Talk about the atmosphere there in Long Island.
It's not as ruthless as Boston. I'll say that much. But there were a lot less Panther fans than there were in Boston when I was there earlier this season. They're a pretty nice fan base. Nobody's really yucking it up with me about it. But yeah, just a really demoralizing game. You go up early, and then it's like when they let that one go through, the one that just bounced around Bob, and he was hopping up like I've never seen before. To give that up right before the end of the first period is really tough. Going into the third period, it was tied, gave up a lead, and then for Bob to be sleeping on a face-off, and letting one go like almost at a 90-degree angle into the goal, it's just and it happened right in front of me, so I was like, oh, come on, man.
Now, Bob hasn't had particularly his best season. Now, you could argue that he hasn't had his defensemen around him, helping him out. The injuries have derailed this team. Not having Seth Jones and Kulikov coming back yesterday, I believe, played 20 minutes and 27 seconds. So Paul Maurice wasn't afraid to throw him out there into the Wolves. And from what I seen in the first shift, he looked pretty damn good. What do you think?
They shot him out of a cannon. I saw him when I was in the upper sections getting ready for the game and looking at the warm-ups and just seeing him out there. I was like, whoa, they're ready for him. And then he got out there in the first, and he was quick as ever. There's a lot of time where you feel like Bob kind of relies on him to be like a secondary goalie.
Right. Right. For real, especially after the playoffs the last 2 years, right? Kulikov has been a crucial part of this defense, even though he's a top three, even though he's on the bottom three pairing. He losing him, I thought, was a big part of this team not being able to do well, especially with Petrie back there. Petrie and a lot of the old Panther fans, or new Panther fans, should I say, the new generation, have been blaming Petrie for being so bad. And they, I believe Kirby and I were talking a little bit about this earlier. He mentioned that a lot of these new fans don't realize, how important the defensemen next to Petrie have been a big factor to them not playing well. And, we don't, for you to rely on a third pairing defenseman for your team to propel you to a playoff run, that means you're not a good overall team. No. And I think people are starting to realize how good Sasha Barkov is, and especially Seth Jones, being the number one defenseman, losing him in the Winter Classic, because I do believe the Panthers were in the playoff race there with Seth Jones healthy, right? So they were winning games even with Barkov out, but once Seth Jones just went off,
the wheels came off.
The wheels came off. You're putting a lot of minutes on Ekblad. You're just, the team's not gelling together. Yes, granted, Tkachuk came back on January 19th, but Tkachuk's not going to sit here and win you a ton of games. He's not that type of player. Seth Jones means so much to this team on the top pairing defenseman, and I think that really hurt us.
Yeah, he was almost 24 minutes a game, and we didn't really get anybody that was gonna offset that, especially with his skill set. So we've been relying on guys that we were otherwise going to be depending on being healthy scratches. And it's brutal. I agree with Jeremy here. I don't think we should even test it with Barkov. I think we just gotta shut him down.
Now the question is, you guys say you want to shut him down, and I kind of agree with you guys to some point. Is he healthy enough where even if you don't because he's a competitor, he's gonna want to play. As a coach, Paul Maurice, and you guys in the chat can kind of jump in on this. As a coach, if you don't think you're going to make the playoffs, do you shut Barkov yourself, or do you give him an opportunity to play 1 or 2 weeks, even if you're not making the playoffs?
I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze there. If he comes back and there's 2 weeks left in the season, and we're 4 points out of a playoff spot, which I don't think we will be. I think we're going to stay at this 8 to 10 number, just like the old days. I think we'd be doing him a disservice to ride out 2 weeks with absolutely nothing on. Yeah, the risk of re-injury is way too high when you're coming back that fast.
I totally agree. Especially to just throw him out there for a month or even 3 weeks. I'm not doing it. Let him get healthy. Let him take the off season, get strength. Because a lot of people know that once you have that ACL injury, it takes about a year to get back to 100%. And I know it's a little bit different in hockey with that injury, but if, God forbid, he gets on the ice and, we're playing a non-meaningful game, he gets tripped up by one of the sticks and he goes down, that sets us back next year as well. So I think that it's going to be critical here in the next couple of weeks, next couple of days, not weeks, because, the trade deadline's coming up Friday. The biggest question is, are the Panthers selling or are they buying for the future? We know
I
they're
think they're
not going to
doing
probably going to buy for this year, right?
like they're not going to give up anything for Trocheck. Like they're I think they're going to stay put. I don't think they're buyers or sellers. I think they're just going to ride it out. You know, they have enough to get to, 9th or 10th place in the conference, and maybe that's all this team is this year. And it's time we start accepting that, because nights like last night, pretty demoralizing.
And let's kind of take
Like
a
I
look at
said.
the standings here, John.
Yep.
We got Tampa Bay at the top with 80 points.
Never
Buffalo
gonna
was a
catch
big loss because that was a 4-point game. And
Yep.
Buffalo has been on a tear these last few months. They're sitting at second place in the Atlantic at 76 points. Detroit, 76 as well.
We shouldn't even be looking up that high.
No. So the wild card standings here. The only team we could catch up with is Boston.
Yep.
So they have a game in hand right now. And if they win their next game, we're pretty much, I think we just literally, it's going to be almost impossible to catch them because we'll be 9 points behind. I'm not saying that can't be done, but Florida's going to have to go on a run here and do some damage in order for them to make something happen. It's been, I think the loss to Buffalo has changed things around, and especially more so yesterday's loss. They needed that 2 points, even though it wasn't against your own division.
Yep. I agree.
You needed those 2 points to at least give you some hope.
Yeah, and so we got Devils tomorrow. Devils are below us on the standings. If the Devils take 2 points and we get nothing, that's even worse.
That's going to be hard.
Just muddies the water. I think.
Don't get me started, Jeremy. Don't get me started about Sam Miskevich. I think Heimel and I have been on this train of where Sam Miskevich has been very disappointing this season. And I don't mean to throw him under the bus. I love the kid. He's a great kid, great person. But as a player, you needed to make that step this second year, especially with the injuries that we've had. I felt like he hasn't taken that step of being the player that we wanted. And you can't say he hasn't had the players around him because he's been playing with Tkachuk. He's been playing with Reinhardt. They put him up and down the lineup the whole year, and he hasn't produced.
He's on that 1 year deal, right? Like we gave him a 1 year deal.
1 year deal, yep.
At the end of last season. So I thought, based on how he played last year, give him a 1 year deal this year, and then it's like a sweetheart deal when the cap goes up next year. And it's like, oh, we can get him a little more after.
Yeah.
But we watch him play, and there's so many times where he could be aggressive towards the net, and he's taking that extra step. He's running into the goalie like McDavid did in the gold medal game, where he's passing out. And it's disappointing because he was pretty aggressive last year.
Right. And I felt like he played better last season than he has this season. And honestly, you can't really say, oh, well, he hasn't had the opportunity. He's young. He's got too much wear and tear. No, he didn't play the playoffs last season. So he's the one player that doesn't really have an excuse, that should be playing at a full effect on this team, and he hasn't done so.
And the broadcast, they point him out every single time he gets the puck.
Randy Moeller the other day. I think it was against the Buffalo Sabres. He had a wide open Bennett in the slot, and he decided to shoot the puck right at the defenseman's legs. And you're wondering, what are you doing? Is him not scoring affecting the way he's playing right now? Do you think that has a lot to do with what's happening?
It's got to be mental. because he's got. Last year he showed the skill. You hate to think that there's a regression all of a sudden. He should be shooting the puck more.
And he's doing a
it's
good
mental.
job.
Yeah, it's got to be.
He's doing a good job shooting, but like sometimes his shots are just not. He's not shooting it when he's supposed to be shooting it. And another guy that I'm going to call out, and I don't like calling players out, but Carter Verhaeghe. I defended him last year when fans were actually calling him out. But at least last year, we seen him playing the two-way game. You saw him forechecking, you saw him back-checking, you saw him making great passes. This year, not so much. Missing opportunities, drop passing it back rather than taking a shot against Buffalo, and also another opportunity of scoring and potentially tying up the game yesterday and wasn't able to do it. So he's another guy that, you're paying almost $8.5, $9 million and hasn't been showing up. You could talk about Bennett. You could talk about Reinhart. I think Reinhart's injured personally. I don't think he's playing at 100%, but he's another guy. Carter Verhaeghe hasn't been doing well either.
Yeah, I think everybody's playing through stuff. Carter was playing. He was pretty hard last night. He was all over the ice. Like first minute you saw him on the ice, he's already on the ground after trying to forecheck somebody. And, his entire backside's covered in ice. It's just, you think he's like, it looks like the effort's there visually. But I know he's one of those players that what we pay him for is the clutch moments. And
yes. And I miss that Carter Verhaeghe. Like, remember the Boston run? Like, he had that swagger. And this is where we want him to live up to his name. We want Swaggy to be Swagger again. We want that confidence in him. I think
with the way that the team is playing, it's just not working out. It's we're not putting him in a position where he can get that clutch goal. We're playing from behind too much. So it all gets watered down, and then it's the end of period goals that are killing us. Because you just walk away from a game that was totally winnable.
Yeah. And we could argue that Bob hasn't been the best this year, but I don't necessarily blame it all on Bob because, when we have Sabrango back there and having Ekblad getting danced around at the blue line, what are you supposed to do as a goaltender?
Yeah. He only saw 26 shots last night, which...
But look at those. Maybe one or two of those you could say he could have stopped. But that game-winning goal, I'm sorry, that's on Ekblad and Sabrango.
Oh, the one from the corner?
No, when the guy literally walked around Ekblad in.
Oh, yeah, that was on the other side.
Game winner. You can't do that.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking the one from the face-off. That was terrible.
Look,
that one just stuck out to me.
Ekblad, I love the guy as a person. But he's been reliable on this team so many times. He's not the old Ekblad. And, we could say that maybe he's slowed down a bit. And this is where not having Seth Jones out there, right?
I wonder why.
I'm not saying that. But I think everybody knows why, right? Kirby here. Trade piece or team, right? Might want a part of ways with little or no compensation this summer. This is talking about Mackey, right? Yeah, that could happen. So I personally think that Mackey is more valuable now than he would be in the summer. Just because Florida would have to, they don't have do they have the negotiating rights? Do they have the rights? Kirby, help me out on that one. Because he'll be a restricted free agent again this year, right?
Said Panthers burn the first year RFA rights.
Okay. So leverage is with Mackey there. So I think he's worth more now.
Because he could walk after this year, right?
Yeah, I believe
so.
So
why not get a draft pick for him?
So exactly. Yeah. So he's a restricted free agent. So not necessarily. So we would get some compensation back if he does sign somewhere else. But honestly, I think he's worth more now that he's on the team and he's signed with us. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I think AJ Greer is another guy we look at that might be
He's been
traded
so
here.
good this year.
He's
He's
been so
overperforming.
good, and I've known a good friend of mine who's good friends with AJ Greer. He wants to stay in Florida.
Oh
But
yeah.
will that happen? It'll be determined here the next couple of days, and I think with Florida's 2 losses here in Buffalo, with Buffalo here at home, and then now at the island against the Islanders, it's going to be a hard climb to climb, a hard mountain to climb. So,
Yep.
but yeah, let's bring in our guest here, Jim Biringer, because he's got all the juicy details. Jim, my man.
Big C's, what's up, baby? How we doing?
Let's go. Team
What's
USA.
up? Yo, Team USA, baby. Let's go. Wait a minute. Guys partying and didn't invite me. What is that about?
Whoa. You're in New Jersey, though.
It doesn't matter. I would have flown down.
If you were here with Rod, I would have invited both of you guys.
I mean, I would have flown down. I'm not going to lie.
Really?
Oh, hell yeah, I would have gone.
Oh, my gosh. Next time.
I'm a sick degenerate. when it comes to that stuff.
Oh, my gosh. Jim, I'm so sorry.
No. Well, it's funny. The only reason I say this because I was in college. So quick backstory. I was in college at St. Mike's and Bruce played up in Montreal. And it was like a Monday night at like whatever time he plays. And he always comes on an hour later. The show is like 7:30, comes on at like 8:30. It's an hour and a half drive from my school to Bell Center. I'm like, I'm going. Screw this. Like, it's Bruce in another country. Like, I gotta go. So I went and I got back really late and I was like, I just go to class anyway. And my teacher's just like, what the hell did you do that you are just like out of it the whole day? I was like, I went to Springsteen last night. In Montreal, they're like, you're a sick degenerate. You really are. I'm like, I love his music. I wanted to see him outside the country.
It's only a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, right?
That's what I'm saying. You got one life. You got to go live it, right?
Bro, it's funny because in my Panther group chat, when they were talking about going to 11, I don't know, I got to work early the next day, Don't get me wrong, I had to work too, but I worked later, so I guess it's easier for me. But I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I'm not missing this opportunity.
Dude, Big
Even if I had to work.
Wait a minute. But first of all, you got like unlimited access to 11.
Yeah, VIP
anyway.
over here.
Yeah, you're a VIP anyway.
Not a scrub.
Honestly, shouts out to Michael at 11, the owner. Such an awesome guy. He literally treated me like one of the players. Shout out to the security too. Go
twice
check out.
Now. That's twice.
Twice, dude. It was amazing. It was so incredible. And for those of you that don't know, my goal that night was to meet Brady Tkachuk. The guys wanted to leave early, and we hadn't gotten to meet Brady Tkachuk. I'm like, I ain't leaving until I meet Brady Tkachuk. And mission accomplished.
Well, you saw McAvoy. You saw Matty saw you right away.
You out.
Yeah, Matthew searched you out, so it didn't matter.
McAvoy spotted me from the stage. Yeah. Wanted to trade jerseys with my boy Jimmy. Oh man, that photo went viral.
It looked like a hell of a night. It
wasn't crazy. It was amazing. But enough of the Olympics. I think everybody's sick and tired of it.
Hey, Team USA won. I'm glad they won. I'm glad I was wrong. I'm happy I'm wrong.
Hey, you and I were both wrong. Except I believe USA would win.
I didn't care. I didn't care. I don't mind taking an L on that because I'm really happy. I'm part of the program. So I'm happy they won and all that. And I'm fine with it. I don't care. And I'm glad they won because they deserve to win.
They did.
I'm pretty sure you picked the 4th place team right, though.
No,
that's the only thing he got right, though.
I thought you picked Slovenia.
Oh, Slovakia? Yeah, I did pick Slovakia to finish 4th, yeah.
So he did get that right. Hey, Big C's did get the first 2 right. USA, Canada. So, hey.
It was chalk. Nobody expected chalk. It was chalk.
No.
It almost wasn't chalk, though, because of the quarterfinal day. It wasn't chalk. Like, it wasn't chalk. It was one goal. Could have eliminated everybody.
It really could have for both U.S. and Canada.
Yep.
And everybody, yeah, Finland could have been gone. Like everybody could have been gone that day.
It was a fun day of hockey.
I was probably more, not gonna lie, that was probably the best day of hockey I've watched since like COVID.
Oh, what an incredible tournament, right?
It was just great. It was just great hockey. Men's and women's hockey was great. I told you all that
the women's hockey too. Like
we knew that.
Right, but I told you all that it was going to be a close game in the Canada-US game, regular season game. The regular that don't mean anything, doesn't mean nothing. But shout out to everybody. Congratulations to both teams. The double. First time USA Hockey's double at the Olympics.
Hillary Knight did that on
very happy about that.
Yeah, she did. That was awesome.
Shout out.
She's on the LTIR now.
Yep. Damn. That's crazy.
That's
but Jim, let's go ahead and the biggest talk this week for Florida Panthers is Bob going to be moved this week? A lot of people are saying he's not. You got some insight here. Is he moving or is he staying?
He wants to stay, as you could see. Jeff Rimmer, Rod Peterson, shout out. He's hearing the same things I'm hearing, that he doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay. He wants to finish his career in Florida. Again, I will repeat to everybody, 2019, there is a reason he chose to be in Florida. He has a house there. He had trained there. He tried to get Panarin to come with him. Like,
I remember that. Remember they were partying before the night before?
Right. They tried to package themselves to go to Florida. Florida couldn't do it at the time. They only could get one, not the other. Right. Bob wants to be there. Again, I will say it. I've said it on the Cats and Rats Spaces, on a podcast, Pucks After Dark, wherever. I've written it, said it on Rod's show. Who gives you the best chance to win another Stanley Cup? Sergei Bobrovsky or an unproven goaltender in the National Hockey League? I'm taking a guy that won 2 Stanley Cups and probably should have won a Conn Smythe the 1 year.
He should have won the first year.
And I'm taking a guy who's a multi-time Vezina winner. So I'm signing the guy. Like me personally, I'm signing. All indications I've gotten, and I've talked to really good, reliable people, and I've talked to really good mentors in the league that have heard the same thing I'm hearing. They're not getting him a 4-year deal. He's going to take a pay cut. It's going to be a 2-year deal. Somewhere the negotiations are starting at 6, and they'll go up from there.
Okay. So do you think he gets that $6 million that he's asking for, or do you think he'll get something below that?
I've heard like between 6 and 7.5 million is where, like, that's kind of where things could finish. But I think the team is leaning towards 6. The Markstrom deal with New Jersey is kind of the starting point.
That's a little bit too rich for me, especially for 2 years. No,
but
the cap is going up.
Right, exactly. Cap's going up. You could move some money around. Again, I don't think first of all, it's not going to be 4. It ain't going to be 5. This is the starting price for goaltenders. If they can get him on a 1-year deal at 6, he's even better, because then you could just sign him on 1-year deals for a while. That is ideal, because then you can make it 35 plus. You can, all that fun jazz. So
you think they do something where it's like an incentive kind of deal? Yes, we'll give you the $6 million, but your base salary maybe 5.2 with a million here with incentives.
I think they could. What they probably would do, my guess, is it's going to be okay. We're going to do 6 or whatever the number is going to be. The signing bonus is going to be heavy. It's going to be like this is arbitrary. This is me playing armchair GM. This is me. I would say, okay, you want a 2-year deal, fine. Your base salary is $2 million. Your signing bonus is $4 million. That's how it's going to go down. Yeah, that's how I would do it.
No, I agree. I think that's the only way you can do it if you're Florida.
Right.
Especially with a lot of these contracts already signed on the team. You can't really move Bennett and Verhaeghe.
No. Easily.
So,
and you're not getting rid of, I'm being honest, you're not getting rid of you're not getting rid of Bennett. So, yeah.
Shouts out to Kirby here. Bassy and Bob have spoiled the fan base across the state. You can't just pick up a new goalie and expect to contend for a cup automatically. I totally agree, Kirby. You've always said
I totally agree with that because we're seeing what's going on with the Edmonton Oilers right now. The Panthers, their Panthers
which they just traded for a goalie today, right?
No, they traded for Connor Murphy today.
Connor Murphy, okay.
On their D. They upgraded their defense, but they traded for Tristan Jarry for Stuart Skinner a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And it hasn't worked out. Why? Because the defense in front of him isn't that good. You got Darnell Nurse making $9 million. Like,
which is mind-boggling. People complain about Ekblad. And
all good for the player for getting it. The general manager at the time just handed out money to get Darnell Nurse paid. I mean, I guess, sure. Good on his agent for getting him the money. He's not a $9 million defenseman. Everybody in Edmonton knows it. Everybody in Edmonton media knows he's $7 million defenseman, $6 million defenseman. They all know it. But hey, good on his agent. He got paid. Like, if there was a different general manager there at the time, he's probably not getting that.
Right.
That was kind of the background story of their run to the cup, was how mismanaged their front office was.
Oh, it's so mismanaged. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And
like, I'm not trying to knock people in Edmonton, and then people will say, no, it's not me. Yes, it is. I pinpoint one date on the calendar that will live in Edmonton Oilers infamy in history. July 1st, 2024. It's the day after they didn't bring back Ken Holland. Jeff Jackson ran free agency that year. Yes, I understand they went to the cup final. I get it. But the team from game 7 that I witnessed to lose 1 goal is not the same team that is there now, and the players know it. Draisaitl said it himself, that team's not the same team that has gone to back-to-back Stanley Cup finals. They're just not. And the first job for Stan Bowman was to deal with offer sheets to Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway, 2 players he knew nothing about because he was not in the organization.
That's very true, right?
Because I'm like, even if I don't know anything, like even if I'm just stepping into the organization, I'm keeping Broberg over Holloway. I'm finding a way to match that offer sheet.
And Kirby makes a good point here on maybe possibly getting Igor Shesterkin, but it's going to be hard to get him, especially with we don't know what direction the Rangers are fully going in, right? So that would be great, younger version of Bob, sort of, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, not happening. You stay with Bob. You try to find a guy, groom a guy for when it's time for Bob to move on.
Exactly. I totally agree.
Like
yesterday's game. Sorry about that, Jeff.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Is like somebody who watches the Florida Panthers more than I did in the past, because I've been to 2 Stanley Cup finals. We've seen each other at the playoff games. We've seen each other at games. As someone who's, I can say, covered this team, I will see them tomorrow night in New Jersey, and tonight in New Jersey if you're watching this on Tuesday. I will see them up front and in close and personal again. That performance on the island was completely unacceptable.
It seems like they were getting out-physicaled by the Islanders, and it was just like, what's going on? Like, this isn't the Florida Panthers that we're used to seeing. And
in the second and third, they were.
Right?
In the first, the Panthers were playing very fast.
Yeah, the Panthers played. I thought the Panthers played an excellent road first period.
Right.
Yep.
But they were playing that fast game, and that's not Panthers hockey.
No.
Right?
No.
We're used to, like, grinding it out, keeping the puck in the zone, forechecking, back-checking. And it seemed like the Islanders were doing it to the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, they were. They did a really good job of it. Like, the Island. But again, it's a running theme for this Panthers team this year with the defensive issues, right? Can't protect the lead. That's another multi-goal lead blown. Like, you can't do that. And
to me, that's unacceptable by Ekblad, letting your forward just go right around you at that position, at that point. I'm a defenseman.
In a game, like, you can't let him score with 30 seconds left in a game. Like, you can't in regulation. You can't. You have a point. That's a point that you bank that point. That's a tie game going in overtime and go take your chances.
Yeah. At that point, you either trip the guy, make sure he doesn't get around you, do whatever it takes, get that extra point. But
you figure out a way.
You let him get
crazy.
away. But let's not take anything away from the Islanders.
No, they're playing well this year. I love what they're doing.
I love what they're doing, and let's shout out to this guy, Matthew Schaffer, first star of the week. My God, has he been incredible? I can't say enough about this guy. When I heard about his story getting drafted, and then shortly after watching him on Spittin' Chicklets and just getting to know his personality, I love his swagger. There's something about him. He's got that aura, right? He's dirty. He's just got that it factor that you want. And there hasn't been a defenseman like him in a long time.
I mean, look, you could talk to the old school, and a lot of people, we're going to say it. They're going to say Bobby Orr. Like, there's, like, I know the stats won't say it because it was different time, but, like, you talk to a lot of people, like, older than me, older than all of us. They're like, who's the best player, best defenseman ever in the game? They're like, Bobby Orr. Like, is a kid on that level? I mean, he's brought energy and excitement to the Islanders. Matthew Darche fell into the first overall pick, right? And he's come in and he's changed the game and he's rejuvenated that team, right? And he's got first star of the week and his first, 18-year-old defenseman, 20 goals in a season, generational talent. He's just, again, I still don't understand why he wasn't on Team Canada.
I was going to ask you, Jim.
Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Cooper.
Didn't they need something like that on the defensive side?
You need it. God forbid you had an injury to one of your puck-moving defensemen, which they did in Josh Morrissey. You needed a guy like this. Like, this kid would have been a difference maker. I don't want to hear about playoff experience. I don't want to hear about any of that stuff.
Here, you got Celebrini.
Okay.
As a rookie.
Bennett should have been on the team if they were worried about playoff experience.
Right?
Yeah, Bennett was on the team. He was
I know, but he wasn't selected first.
No, he was an injury replacement. And
I don't think Cooper's coaching the national team again.
No, he's done. Like, he is definitely done. But I'm going to say this. I think Schaffer should have been there. I also think Bedard should have been there, too. I think they should have brought all three young guys with them because they would have found a home for them. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to put the palms in the air and say Canada would have won, Canada would. No, but I think if you could have put out Schaffer and Bedard and somebody else in overtime instead of relying McKinnon, McCarr, Celebrini, and guys like that, McDavid, I'm taking those guys because I know what the rules are.
It's crazy.
Well, that wasn't hockey that they played, apparently.
Like, you all know, like, I got to say this. And I
US
said this,
played 3 versus 3 too. So I don't understand.
But did you hear the complaining when Marner scored against Czechia? Like, did anybody complain?
Awfully quiet.
I heard a lot of crickets then.
Yeah,
like, I really did on both sides. Like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's not Olympics." Bro, I'm gonna say this again, and I'm gonna say it in the nicest way possible. I do not want to come off like a hockey elitist. Go watch international hockey. The double iiHF changed the rules in 2019 to go to eliminate shootouts. They didn't want a shootout determining gold medal in any of their international tournaments. This was not the IOC. This is not the NHL. This is the double iiHF, and the double iiHF is not changing it because it gets the games done on time.
And I personally liked it. I know Kirby's more of the old school. He likes 5-on-5.
I like 5-on-5 too. Don't get me wrong. I like 5-on-5. You will all see the NHL style of game come the World Cup of Hockey.
And I don't think it'll ever come to 3-on-3 in the NHL.
No, that will never happen.
Never.
That will never happen.
Don't
that's never going to happen.
Yeah,
Period.
I agree.
Discussions closed. Never happening. Double iiHF has their own rules. The NHL has their own rules. The NHL will bring their rules into the World Cup of Hockey. Yada, 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 whatever. But
look,
well said.
No, I'm just saying, like, everybody complains on Twitter and this and that. Oh, then go watch hockey. If you say you're a hockey fan and you call yourself a hockey analyst, that don't be surprised when these rules just show up.
Look, Connor McDavid was out there with the Jack Hughes goal, playing the way he came back on defense. I'm sorry, that's his guy that he left wide open.
Makar was cheating. Makar cheated in overtime. He was looking for the stretch pass back. Like he thought they were.
McKinnon had a wide open shot to win the goal.
Oh, I said it. I can find it. I can find the tweet. You could put it up. I'll try to find it and send it to you right now to put up. I don't know if I can find it, but I said going into the overtime, I said they got all the breaks that they needed. Right? They got the Hellebuck save. They got the missed net, the 5-on-3. You got all these bounces to go your way. That's a game you get to. Your goalie gets you to overtime. Now it's one shot.
Yep.
Like. That's what I don't know. Like, okay, let's play the hypothetical game. I know we weren't supposed to talk Olympics and all this stuff, but we're down this rabbit hole.
And we already opened up the can. So.
We opened up the can, right? Say, for instance, Jack Hughes and Werenski don't touch that puck up to each other and it goes the other way, right? It's a 2-on-0, McKinnon and McDavid. I'd say that puck's going in the net.
Yeah.
But the way Connor Hellebuck was playing,
it's 50-50 away from him, man.
It was fit. I mean, the odds are 50-50 that goes in the net. He could have come up with another big save.
You know, it's crazy, Jim, that you bring Hellebuck again. When he made that paddle save, I don't know how he did that, but it brought me back to when 2023, the Florida Panthers playing the Golden Knights, and I believe Hill was the goaltender then, right?
Yeah.
Made that incredible save against Florida in Game 2. And then Bob in 2024 makes the incredible save against Tampa. Literally,
that was unbelievable. That was unbelievable, that save against Tampa. I was like, that's a goal. And I'm like,
it happened right in front of me, Jim. Sierra and I looked at each other. We're like, did that just happen? Like, the most amazing save I've seen in person. To this day, I still don't know how Bob did that. The best save I've ever seen in person.
I'm going to tell you this, Cease. Go check this out on YouTube if you can find it. Go find the Game 5 highlights or find the full game at a Game 5 2000 Stanley Cup Final. Devils and Dallas Stars. Eddie Belfour and Martin Brodeur. The 10 bell saves they made in that game. I'm like, especially in the overtimes, like these dudes made some killer saves. Like Belfour robbed McGillney to win a Stanley Cup, and then Brodeur just like robbed a bunch of dudes. Like I was so glad not to go to school the next day. I was at that game. I was tired. I was like, I'm taking a day off. I'm like, I ain't going to school the next day.
I don't blame you there, Jim.
Nope. And don't forget, guys, this is when there was commercial breaks in overtime. So
that's crazy.
So those games are now, you're talking triple overtime game. That's over at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
I can only imagine.
with an 8:30 start in the Stanley Cup Final.
Wow. But going back to like the Hellebuck, when he made that save, I literally just thought of those plays. I'm like,
well, you forgot one. 2018 Braden Holtby on Alex Tuck, Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final for Vegas. He pretty much had the same. He pretty much had the same exact save.
It feels like whenever something like that happens, the hockey gods are like, nope, no, not today.
No, not today.
And I felt that. And a lot of the guys, we were live streaming. A lot of guys were nervous. Cody and Nick are like, the 3-on-3 advantage to Canada. I'm like, hold up, guys. I don't think so. All the momentum 5-on-5 was with Canada. 3-on-3 is a different story now. USA has the advantage. And because
they had the 3 best players in the world. And they had the 3 best players in the world playing. So excuses to me. Excuses.
Right. Look, it was a great game. I enjoyed it. Fun tournament. It was amazing. I had fun at 11. I had fun the whole week. It was incredible.
And to bring it back to what we were talking about with the Islanders, the rejuvenation of Matthew Schaffer, young player, like Matthew Darche has done a lot with this team to get this team in a spot to contend. putting them in, sitting in the second spot in the Metro Division. I don't think a lot of people. I didn't have them that high, but I had them as a playoff team. Not
I
gonna
didn't
lie.
have him in the playoffs.
I did because I was just like, okay, Patrick.
I did
Waugh,
have Boston though.
Right.
I did have Boston in there.
But I was like, all right, I want to see Patrick Waugh under a new system. I want to see him with the new GM, the new players, offensive system. Patrick Waugh. Like, I believed in this Islanders team. I was not sold that Schaffer was going to be this good. He had to convince me. He convinced me. Like,
I mean, look at these numbers.
Ridiculous.
Most goals by a rookie defenseman in NHL history.
I mean, he's already won the Calder Trophy, so it doesn't matter. Like, it's not even close. It's not even debate.
That's a lock.
That's a lock. Like, that's a lock. That's it. It's like when it was
Minus
Huston last
4,000.
year. Like, Hudson at a certain point won it. I'm like, he won it. Like, Matthew Schaffer right now, book it, put his name on it. He's the rookie of the year in the National Hockey League. It's not even close. And any other year, Demidov's winning it in Montreal. So, like, it's over. Like, Matthew Schaffer's Calder Trophy winner, and it's not even close. Not even close.
So here's a little comment here by Kirby. Schaffer has to follow it up to be with Makar, Hughes, Quentin Hughes, that is. His issues tier will be interesting to watch. I saw Dion's rookie year up close and personal. He didn't match it again. That will be the question.
It's always the second. It's always the second year, and
Right.
I think a lot of people had that with Lane Hudson in Montreal, and he's proving that last year was not a joke and was no fluke. I have a feeling this kid will be just fine.
I do too. I just think he's got the personality. Now, knock on wood. Let's hope injuries don't, hurt him in the future. I think if he stays injury free, I think he can keep it up. I think he can be one of the best defensemen to ever play.
And the Island is rocking. The Islanders are having fun. The team's having fun, and they're playing well. 3 straight comeback, 2 multi-goal comebacks to start coming out of the break. I don't know how sustainable that is, but they're doing it.
They are, and hey, shouts out to them. Incredible season they're having. And do you think they'll make the playoffs here?
Yeah, I think so. I just don't. New Jersey's not catching them. Philly's not catching them. I don't think Washington's catching them. In the Metro, I don't think those teams are catching them. I think they have a nice lead on Pittsburgh right now too for a second spot. So I think it's very surprising, but I think the Islanders are in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh and the Islanders are tied at 75 points, but like Washington's 69, Columbus is at 66. They'll be at 68 if they hold on to their lead. Like Philly's at 65. The Devils aren't even close. The Rangers at the bottom. Like, I think the Islanders are they're pretty safe.
Yeah, I do too. I definitely agree. Who else trade deadline wise, since we're in the trade topics, which team do you see making a big move here to help them propel themselves to winning a Stanley Cup? Do you see Edmonton making another move, getting another goaltender here to help them out? Because I feel this is a break or make year for them. Especially without Florida being in there this year, maybe.
Well, if they can shore up their defense and they play better defensively in Tristan Jarry, and Jarry can start to find his game, the way the Pacific is, they might be able to get back to a Western Conference final. And then if McDavid and Draisaitl put it together, could the Oilers... I personally don't see them going to 3 straight Cup finals. I really don't. Like... No. And this is me not being like overreacting to what I'm seeing. I didn't think they were good enough to begin the year. Like, I've been on this stand since the offseason. I don't think this team is good enough. Their depth isn't good enough, and they haven't been good enough to warrant me to say, yeah, they can go back to a Western Conference final. But that Pacific, if they match up with certain teams in the first round and they can get past the second round, now you're saying, okay, Jarry, all he has to do is do what Stuart Skinner did against Jake Ottinger and company against Dallas, and then they're back into the Stanley Cup final. So it's not inconceivable. I personally don't see it. I don't think they're getting a goaltender because I don't think, first of all, I don't think Edmonton and St. Louis are going to make a trade right now with each other after what happened with those offer sheets.
Here's a look at the standings real quick. Edmonton's only 1 point from being out of the playoff spot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do they even make it?
I mean, they're right there on the cusp. So it'll be interesting these next couple of games.
Right.
I think they're a first round exit.
The
I
last
think-
10 games, they're 4-6-0. That's not doing pretty good.
Yeah, and they're
So
giving up 6
can
goals a
a
game.
team like Seattle crack and make a run, or
Or can
San
LA
Jose
King-
Sharks?
Can
The
LA
LA Kings.
could get back in the mix? Like, I think the Sharks, it's not out of the question. The Sharks get it. It's not out of question. The Kings can find a way back in. Like, yeah. I mean, maybe the others don't even make the playoffs because you heard Chris Knobloch talk about it. You've heard Leon Draisaitl talk about it. Can't win games giving up 5-6 goals. 4 or 3 goals should be enough to win in the National Hockey League right now, and it's not. You can't be outscoring your defensive problems, and that's what they're trying to do right now. They have too many of them. Yeah, they can get a third-line center. Yeah, they could maybe get Nick Waugh out of Toronto. Okay, big deal. All right, fine. Get Nick Waugh out of Toronto. It clears cap space for the Maple Leafs. Big deal. But, like, I don't know. They're not getting a goalie. Like, they're not getting Binnington out of St. Louis. That's not happening. First of all, A, they can't afford him. And B, I can't stress this enough. There are things that go on in this league where teams don't want to trade with each other. That offer sheet is leaving a bad taste in the Edmonton Oilers organization right now.
Wow. Okay, RC has a question here for you, Jim. Does
Yes.
Minnesota make a move, or would they be re-signed to rely solely on the Hughes trade here?
No, they're making a move. They're making a move for center. Whether it's Nazem Kadri, whether it's Vincent Trocheck, which I think Trocheck would go to Minnesota. There is a trade offer on the table that the jury has, but he's, biding his time to see if better offers come out there from Detroit, from Carolina, maybe Pittsburgh. I thought about, you think about it, right? Buffalo could use somebody like that. So, there could be a market for Trocheck, but I think my guess is I think he ends up in Minnesota. I look at Calgary, again, Nazem Kadri. There's been a lot of chatter about Kadri going back to Colorado. I know everybody talks about this Makar extension. I'm still not sold he's getting over $15 million. Like, I'm really not. Like, I personally think he won't break. I don't think it's going to be as high as people think it's going to be. Like, I really don't. Like, I don't think it's going to be 17, 18 million. Like, I really don't think it's going to be that high. Like, if they really want to contend to be and build a winner, I wouldn't be shocked if it's under 15.
Wow. Okay.
Me personally, like, that's not me talking to NBA. This is me speculating because I do think he'll be paid higher than McKinnon is, but I don't know if he's going to go Kaprizov level.
That is true.
Like, if they really want to win, that number has to be less than 16.
Yes, I agree.
Even in a rising salary cap, you just can't throw money around because guess what? Come the playoff time, you got to still put players in the lineup.
Especially with the way the rules have changed now.
Right. So
LTIR.
Not even that. There's a playoff salary cap. Like,
yeah.
So, like, I said this the other night. You may see teams that have 2 goalies signed at, like, I don't know, 7-8 million each, or 7 and 6. Maybe one of those guys has a night off, and the third string guy from the AHL's up, just to fit everybody into the cap.
Yeah,
it's a possibility. Like, it could happen. Like, it's not out of the question. So that's why I just not, like, everybody talks about the Makar extension. Yeah, it's important for Colorado, but if you can trade for Nazem Kadri at 50% retained,
100%, you do it.
You do it. Like, Colorado wants to bring him back. He never wanted to leave Colorado. They just couldn't fit him in because there was a flat cap.
It's crazy. Wow.
So Blake Coleman, I think, has been tied to Dallas. I know Kadri's been tied to Dallas, but again, the Jason Robertson extension, what does that look like? What is it? 7, 8 times, whatever, 11. Like, I think they want to do something. Could they add another defenseman? Yes, I think Dallas is there. St. Louis with Robert Thomas. I think Robert Thomas's name has been.
Does Robertson get traded before?
No, they want to keep him. They want to keep him, right? They want to keep him, and they're not. Look, he's RFA, so it's not like he's UFA, and I could say own rental. He's RFA, so he's still controlled by the team. So there's more time with Robertson than people think. But he's not getting traded, especially if Dallas Stars want to make a run to Stanley Cup final. He ain't getting traded. Jim Nill's not making that deal. But again, it's going to be interesting to see what the percentages are of the cap that he gets, right?
Yeah.
But they definitely want to trade a defenseman. Detroit's going to be active. They're looking for a center, like I said. But I don't think they're going to get Elias Pettersson now. Maybe they go like a Vinny Trocheck type move. Maybe they go something smaller. Because there are centers out there. Robert Thomas, I know, has been linked to Montreal. Not again, asking prices are high for Robert Thomas. You got to give a top prospect, first round pick, NHL ready players. Like it's 4 pieces. And here's the thing with the Blues, right? Say this every year. How many times are you going to threaten guys to get traded and you don't pull the trigger? Like at some point, no one's going to call your bluff.
That's true.
Like
it takes 2 to tango, right? So
no, yeah, but again, it's like if I'm the player, you keep putting me out there. Like, are you going to trade me or you're not going to trade me? Like, you want me here or not? And I don't. And I talk to some people. I don't think Robert Thomas wants to be there anymore.
Right. And if he doesn't want to be there, why have him in the locker room?
Yeah,
just not being in a great situation.
I think that's a name to watch. Like I said, Coleman. I think is connected to Dallas, Tampa, places like that. I think there's going to be a lot of under the radar moves that like lower tier lineups, lower salary caps that move, just because teams again with the playoff cap. So,
Kirby here saying Petty said on TSN, no one is letting Vancouver off the hook on that Rich deal. Canucks won't get much back, they said.
No, duh. They're not going to win an Elias Pettersson trade. No, you think? You've been saying. I said it on my show last year on Full Press Hockey with David Calabrese. We're saying the same thing. You're not winning a JT Miller trade, and you're not winning an Elias Pettersson trade. Like, duh. Like, I mean, obvi. Like, it's definitely obviously that it's not happening, right? So, look, I think Vancouver Canucks have to decide who wants to be on this team. Said it today on my show. I had Anthony DeMarco from the Daily Faceoff on my show, and
make sure you guys check out Jim's show.
It was great. It was really good. We talked to trade deadline, but we brought this up about St. Louis and Vancouver. It's like you need to know in the offseason if your team is what your team wants to be, because it feels like every year those two teams come to puck drop first month of the season, they want to change everything. It's like you knew. You had a year. You knew what you were going getting into. So I just feel like those two teams will just keep doing it. So I think that, I think there'll be some movement. I think Boston's checking around a defenseman. I think Boston's checking around on a center market.
Going to be sellers. We all thought they might. A lot of people thought they might be sellers.
They're not going to sell. They're not going to sell off their. They're not selling. That Don Sweeney said today that he wants to reward his group. So do they go get a Connor Garland out of Vancouver, something like that? Price, they're not trading James Hagan, so that ain't happening. To anybody who thinks James Hagan's going to get traded, not happening. They're not giving up their best prospect in probably a long time.
Right.
In the Don Sweeney era, as the general manager, they're not trading him. They got a steal at where they drafted him last year, so no, they're not getting rid of him. But I do think they're going to reward that group. I think the Islanders are going to reward that group. Detroit has to be active for the sake of Steve Yzerman and getting that team into the playoffs. But now with the John Gibson injury, maybe they look at a goalie.
That'll be rough on them.
Yeah, I mean, again, hopefully not too serious for Gibson, but his injury history tells you sometimes they're long. It's a long time when he's out, and then it hurts. But I think there'll be activity. Hopefully, okay. I think there'll be a big move. But
now, I kind of want to get to Pittsburgh because they're still in the playoff race. Sidney Crosby's injured.
Right.
Do they make a move to buy or sell here at the trade deadline?
I think they're looking. I think a lot of the guys that came out on the weekend, like Rust, Raquel, they all said they wanted to stay there. Like they all have trade protection. They all have some sort of trade clause. They all control their own destiny. I think the bigger news is the fact that, Malkin and Pittsburgh's not on the same page. Like,
is that a name that we could maybe see?
I don't think. Could
it be like a Brad Marchand where something's happening internal that we don't? They're supposed to
meet. They're supposed to meet this week. They're going to have a better discussion. They had discussions. They didn't really talk numbers. I think Malkin wants to see what the game plan is from Dubas. Malkin wants to retire Penguin. He wants to see if they're going to bring him back. He wants to be back. He's made it clear he wants to retire with Sid.
Okay.
I've heard Trocheck to Pittsburgh, but he says he wants to win. Is Pittsburgh really in a position?
Doesn't everybody though? Like, it's such
More
a weird
so-
thing to say.
But more so than ever, because
I want to win the Stanley Cup.
Well, do you know? Have you noticed? Real quick, not to knock anybody that does my job, because I know I get stuff wrong too. But every time they bring up Nazem Kadri's name, he's like, "Oh, he's looking to win. He's looking to win a Stanley Cup." Yo, he won in Colorado. You can say he wants to win again. It's okay. Like he did. It's all right. It's all good. But like, it makes sense. He's home. He's not too far from his family. Then it's an easy transition. I don't know if if you bring Malkin back, it's Crosby, Malkin, Trocheck. That's really good down the middle.
You
Is
know,
that
it's
a contract
interesting.
they want to take on?
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan O'Reilly's the big one, right? That's the hot girl in school that you keep trying to ask out, and she keeps saying no, but you hope eventually she says yes. Because
Don't bring me back to those days, Jim.
I'm just saying it's a good analogy, though.
Yeah.
He has the unofficial no movement clause, which means he doesn't have trade protection, but he does, because Barry Trotz said he wasn't going to trade him unless it was a really good offer. That's like a name I'm wondering. Like, teams keep calling. Does eventually the offer become good enough to where they have to present it to him?
You know, this is a great point by RC. Miles Garrett said he wanted to win.
Yeah, well,
Then
Miles Garrett could
Wisconsin
still be on a trade block. So
it's by far the worst full page newspaper ad I've ever seen.
Yeah,
just resulting in nothing.
Look,
but
I think
I'm gonna have more money.
I think Trocheck to Pittsburgh's not out of the question. It all depends on what Dubas wants to give up to get him.
And it's interesting because you're talking a little bit about the Malcolm thing situation. I think if Florida was a little bit had a chance to make a run, and it's still not over. Not over.
No, if Florida was probably, if they were 3 or 4 points going into the Jersey game on Tuesday night.
Do you see them making a run at Malkin?
Not now.
Because I feel like his name has been linked to Florida for 3 years now.
Still don't think they're doing anything.
They have been linked to him. He's been linked to Florida. He was originally linked to Florida when the Barkov injury happened as a guy potentially down the road that they could go get. I just don't see it just because he wants to stay in Pittsburgh. He wants his leg. He does, like, he joked. He's like, "Oh, it'd be nice to be like Brad Marchand," and then he's just like, "I want my legacy to be I played with one team."
Okay. And
I think he really wants to finish his career with Sid and Letang.
He deserves that. He really does.
But I think Pittsburgh is coming to the realization that they may have to make a hard decision again, like they did with Flower. Me personally, I would have done it. Like, if I was running the ship, like Ron Hextall and was it Brian Burke at the time? I think it was Ron Hextall and Brian Burke at the time. The year that they signed Raquel Letang to those extensions, I think it was 02, 03, one of those off seasons. They didn't want to bring Malkin back. They didn't want to pay him. But ownership said you had to bring him back. We needed all the band together.
Yeah.
Then they missed the playoffs for a couple years. Is it out of the realm of possibility that somebody makes an offer for him? No. But he has trade protection, so he can say no.
Right. Jim, turning a little bit, we're going to kind of change the segment here. We love your football knowledge, too.
Oh,
biggest question this week. I don't know if you've been keeping up.
He's out the door.
Oh, for
sure. Do you think
he's out the door?
Crosby gets traded this week?
I'm not even letting you finish the question. He's getting traded.
It's when, not if.
It's not if anymore. It's when. Like, he's leaving Vegas. He's leaving Vegas.
He already did the podcast appearance.
Yeah, he's out the door.
The host awkwardly asked him.
Like, he's out the door. He's gone. Like, he's leaving Vegas. Yeah, he's leaving.
Jim, let's bring him to the Giants.
Man, it's not a bad. I mean, that would be great. I don't know if the Giants have the assets to make that trade work. I don't even know if they have the cap space to make it work.
Now, looking at Micah Parsons' deal last year, there are rumors that that's what the Raiders are asking
Yeah,
for.
I think that's a fair return for Max Crosby. He's a little bit better player than Michael Parsons,
especially the way he plays the run.
right?
He's 4 years older than Micah Parsons,
Yeah,
but he's at his prime. Baltimore's, I believe, Chicago, Dallas, New England. Here's a dark horse who's I really think needed pass rush help this past year. Philadelphia Eagles.
I think Eagles could go after. I think Chargers could go after him.
Could you see the Eagles making an AJ Brown trade for Max Crosby and maybe a future pick?
I could see that's a good foundation to start with Crosby, but I don't know. Like, I think Philadelphia definitely needs a player like that. I think, well, first of all, let's put this out there. I think every team in the league could use a player like that. There's teams that already have those players. Houston has it, and Will Anderson Jr. They drafted him.
Yeah.
Out of Alabama. Kid's a stud. And I think Houston is really, really, really considering a quarterback change. I really do.
Oh, really?
I really do. I really think I don't know if they're going to give CJ Stroud a contract extension. I think they just might pick up the 5th-year option like we saw with Bryce Young in Carolina. I don't know if that room is sold on CJ Stroud after what happened in the playoffs.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
well, we saw firsthand the mistakes. Like
he hasn't been the same since his rookie season.
No, and who forgive me for blanking on the backup quarterback that came in for his injuries this year. But
the guy with the neck.
Yeah.
Mills?
Yeah, Davis Mills.
Davis Mills, yep.
I was very, very surprised he did not start the second half in New England.
He played pretty damn good.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that with that defense, and that defense is only going to continue to be a top unit in the NFL, the fact that they won a playoff round based on the defense and almost did it again, you have to get a competent quarterback in there. Because this is what we heard in in Indianapolis till Daniel Jones showed up. Need a quarterback away. We just traded for David Montgomery in Houston. Like, I feel like they could go get a quarterback and Houston could run away with that division.
I would not be surprised to see that.
I do think Max Crosby's going.
Right.
It just depends where.
I know Dallas is linked to them using the 12th overall pick and maybe a player. And a player to keep an eye on for Dallas, because Christian Parker's system is moving from a 4-3 to a 3-4, is Odigizua from last year, defensive tackle. He could be on the move. He's potential to maybe be part of that deal if it does happen. But another player that was moved today, Jim, is David Montgomery.
Great move by Houston.
Houston not only did they trade Montgomery, but they also traded an offensive lineman. And it was like, wait a minute. What are you doing? Do you want to protect your... So are they going to use this draft to address the offensive line?
Yeah.
Right?
There's some good... Look, this isn't the... For everybody knows that I have it next to me, and I'll get it right now. Like, I literally have notebooks like this scouting players in...
By the way, this is freaking hilarious.
Yeah, that's great. Davis Mills. There he is.
Shouts out to Jim for sharing this for.
Yeah.
I love it.
That was me. I got you.
JP got you. Look,
hang on. I
have notebooks like this for college football, hockey, whatever. I think that, I think Houston's going to address the O-line. This is not, and I will repeat, for anybody who says national media says it's a good quarterback class, it ain't. Okay?
No.
Quarterback class coming out this year is not good. Quarterback class next year is okay. It's not I'm not gonna use the good word because I think there's still a lot of unproven guys moving forward.
Right.
I think the best player in the draft is Jeremyah Love. I think the non-sexy positions of the offensive line and the safeties and those players are
Really? So
really
you think
good.
Jeremyah is the best player in this draft class?
Yes, I do.
I was going to ask you because there's breaking news today. Just a little while ago, I just saw. It's kind of crazy because the Giants were linked to possibly drafting my boy Caleb Downs, who I'm a big fan of. But
I love Caleb Downs. His stock rose at the combine.
But there's reports that he might have a degenerative ACL. Is this
That's
true?
This is the first news I'm hearing of it because he had a hell of a season if he did.
It was reported like 14 minutes before we went live.
I mean, I'd have to talk to people that I know in college football because he had.
Let me ask my wife.
Like he had a hell of a season.
I personally think he's the best player in the draft.
I mean,
if the safety value was of importance, and I think it should be, with the amount of teams playing the spread offense, using tight ends in the slot, wouldn't you want a guy like Caleb Downs to help you on that defense, a difference maker?
Yeah, I mean, I would have it. I think the Giants should, if Downs is 100% healthy, I think if he's there at 5, the Giants should take him.
And I don't want you to take him.
No,
I'm afraid of you guys taking him.
Well, because, they need safety help, but they've always needed safety. They've needed cornerback help since Jason Zahorn was there after he left. Like, that team has not been good at that position for a while. I mean, all things being equal, Caleb Downs is a good player, and the Giants should take him. I don't know if he'll be available at 5. That's why I've always linked the Giants to Jeremyah Love, because I think that's a smart and safe play, and now everybody's picking up on it.
And he's had a really good combine. Jeremyah Love is right. I think his stock has moved up.
Even more than it was coming out of Notre Dame at the end of the season.
Yeah. And I know the Giants are linked. I know they drafted Saquon Barkley. They let him go, and I think they're regretting that.
Oh, 100% they're regretting it.
And
they filmed the regret on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, you didn't see that?
I didn't watch the Hard Knocks with the Giants, but
it was hard to watch as a Giants fan.
The clip of please don't let him go to
don't let him go to Philly.
Just don't let him go to Philly. Just
and of course
the nightmares. Well, everybody knew it was going to happen. Like you knew he was going to Philly, but that's revisionist history. But I do think Cam Scadaboo's coming off significant knee injury, significant injuries. You have a workhorse like Jeremyah Love, or
split the
carries. Again, he can do more. He can pass catch. You can get him in different sets. That means you can get. Oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? Jackson Dart moving. You can move. There's different systems you can use with Jeremyah Love.
Yeah,
like Sonny Styles could be there. Like there's different options. To me, you're not going to overpay for Kenneth Walker III on free agency because they just don't have the cap space to do it. But now you could get Jeremyah Love on a rookie deal, and you have another weapon on an offense for this team.
No, I agree. And
we know that they're just going to draft an O lineman. We know it.
And they shouldn't. They could get O lineman in second and third round.
The thing is, I feel like I've watched the Giants draft offensive linemen in the first round the last few years, and
I think they're going to address it. They're going to address it in the free agency because there's a couple guys from Baltimore that are going to. I think they're going to try to get the center.
Dolphins released their tackle today as well,
right? And I think there's somebody from. I think if Trent Williams becomes available from San Francisco, the Giants are going to jump on him. That'll be a big loss
for them.
Like if he becomes available, I think the Giants will jump on him. And that, to me, solves your offensive line problem. And then you can get the center from Baltimore, and there you go. And then you go get Jeremyah Love.
RC has a question. What is the latest Bain is likely to be selected for the Bengals here? I'm guessing.
Bain. I mean, I think I have him. I have Rubin Bain as a first round pick. I just like the way he's played all year.
A lot of people have been questioning his arm length, but I've been watching the Dallas Cowboys former scout Brian Broaddus. He's like, how many times do you see offensive linemen extend with their arms?
They don't.
Never.
If you extend with your
Never.
arms, it means you have a holding penalty.
Yes. So I hate the notion of saying this guy has small arms. He can't play. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm the guy that watches film. Go look at the tape. Rubin Bain, you're a Miami guy. I love him play.
Dude, Rubin Bain was a monster this year.
I
he
mean,
single-handedly kept the Miami Hurricanes in the national championship game.
And all anybody's talking about is his arms.
It's insane.
Because these scouts over-scout. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Hockey, football, basketball, baseball. They over-scout. And they try to nitpick things on some player all the time. And we're seeing it with Rubin Bain. Personally, to me, it's a first-round pick. He's going to add to a defense.
Yeah.
Really good. Like, the tape says he's really good.
I think he's the best defensive end in the draft.
Right? I don't want to hear, like, I have this. It's not that I don't have a grudge against J.J. McCarthy. I don't have a grudge against J.J. McCarthy. I love the kid. I think he's a good kid. I just don't think he's a pro quarterback.
Okay.
I watched
and I know you and I had that argument, but
right.
You know.
But I don't want to hear about JJ, he's got it. Everybody is finally seeing what I saw at Michigan for 4 years, 3 years, however long he played there, or was the starter there. Can't make the easy throw. He overthrows. He's panicked when there's pressure. And Minnesota relied on a kid who got hurt and didn't play a game the year before and let Sam Darnold walk out the door. And now they're trying to get a quarterback.
Right? Yeah.
So now they're trying to get a veteran quarterback in Minnesota because the team is unhappy because their star wide receiver wasn't getting the football.
Yeah. No.
I know he's only 23 years old, but he wasn't good at Michigan.
No. But this is where I think Minnesota needs to. Do you think they need to invest in a running back?
Yes, they need to invest in a running back. I know Kevin O'Connell's a really good coaching guru. He fixed Daniel Jones, all this stuff. But they needed a veteran to allow J.J. McCarthy to come in and just sit and watch. They threw him to a team that was Super Bowl ready. Yeah. But he wasn't NFL ready.
No, I agree.
I'm not saying he's not going to be a good quarterback. I'm not saying that.
We just saw Darnold win the Super Bowl.
Right. But he needs work and a lot of it.
Yeah, and I think that's where I agree with you as well, Jim.
Like, I'm not, I was trying not, everybody's like, oh, you're just J.J. McCarthy hater. I'm not J.J. McCarthy hater. I just never thought he was this 10th overall pick coming out of Michigan when I saw Michigan run the ball 40 times in the second half against Penn State and they didn't even allow him to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. He was in it. Like, here's the thing. When Harbaugh was there, they were a run-first team. Blake Corum was running the ball. They had a massive offensive line. Their defense won championships. It wasn't because JJ won national title. The team around JJ won the national title.
Yeah.
Like,
defense was outstanding, too.
The defense was outstanding. So, I mean
had
like,
2 stud defensive linemen.
Yeah.
One of the best corners who come out of the draft last year.
Right. 2 great running backs, a great offensive line. Like, no, JJ made the throws when he needed to make the throws, but he also overthrew guys and almost cost them games in the playoffs. So, like, again, I don't want to bash the kid. I think he needs a lot of work. He needs to work, but I think they need a veteran in Minnesota to help him.
I agree. JP, you got news on Caleb Downs here?
Yeah, so I consulted a professional.
Yep. Sources.
So So it could be a partial tear in the past. But if he has good enough strength and motor control, then he could play fine without it. She, being the professional that I asked, my wife,
Cool.
has seen it in older adults, just not football players. So there could be some risk there.
But he had a great season last year. So
did he play with this?
I would have to talk to Ohio State to find out if he actually played with this last year.
He ended the season with it.
Yeah, so and he had a great, season. So
Okay. Yeah. This will be something that we got to watch close eye.
yeah, I think so. I think some teams are going to be scared off by this now. I really do.
Hey, I wouldn't mind if he drops to 12.
Look, I'm going to say this right now. How do you think the Bills got Willis McGahee?
Yeah. Willis McGahee was a big one, right?
Well, Willis McGahee got injured in the national championship in his draft year, and a lot of teams weren't sure if he was going to be ready for the start of the year. And they were like, I think we're going to have to pass on him, but he was a really good running back.
No, I agree. I don't know if you watched any of the combine this weekend, Jim, because I know you're always busy with the NHL.
I mean, look, everybody knows my take on a combine, shorts and T-shirts.
Meat market.
It's shorts and T-shirts.
You can't lose the fact of Sonny Styles.
So he had a great
Oh
combine.
my God.
Those numbers, I don't care about the bench press. I don't care about all that other stuff. These are the numbers I care about.
This guy was phenomenal. I mean, he was so smooth on the back pedals. The 40-yard dash, 6'5", 244 pounds.
4.6 40, yeah.
Bro, he had a better 40-yard dash than CD Lamb. A lot of receivers. This guy just. Do you see his stock going up?
Absolutely.
If it hasn't already been up.
I think he could go top 10. I'm gonna be honest. I think teams will draft him in the top 10.
Just incredible. Absolutely mammoth. Just it was funny watching him in the combine. His linebacker teammates were actually cheering him on when he was doing the broad jump.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Look how high he can get.
Look at that vertical. Linebacker, that means you could be blocking some passes, reading routes. He's a great he reads great routes. And the fact he gets his hands on everything, difference maker.
Incredible.
Difference maker.
Now, is he going to be like... He is a safety converting into linebacker. So he does have the ability to cover. Right. So
that's good because you need that.
Exactly. No, I agree. 100%, man. Switching up here. Let's see what do we got next. Let's see NASCAR real quick.
Oof. Real quick, NASCAR. We love NASCAR on the show.
How about this? First time in NASCAR history, Jim. Our boy, Michael Jordan, does the unthinkable. Holy moly. The guy wins 3 straight in a row.
That's unbelievable, man.
Tyler Reddick wins his 3rd straight NASCAR race. It's totally unheard of.
Jordan effect.
Look at this.
That's it. There it is.
Literally, Tyler Reddick is literally copying Michael Jordan here.
It's just Jordan. This is good for NASCAR, right? Because now people are going to be tuning in to see what this guy does every week, right?
Right.
This is what Michael Jordan does to your sport.
It's truly remarkable.
Did you see the video of Michael Jordan with Danny Hamlin?
Yeah.
He put his head around his hand around his head. It's like, dude, that's
like
MJ's hands, gigantic,
huge.
It's unbelievable. I've never I'll be honest, I don't watch NASCAR all the time, but the fact that Jordan's got he's won the first 3 races of this season after what he did in the courtroom against NASCAR is unbelievable. It's GOAT status.
He's changing NASCAR.
He really is. He really is.
Could he become the best owner in NASCAR history?
This season, he already is.
He already is. I know Joe Gibbs Racing is Joe Gibbs
Right.
had phenomenal. It was a phenomenal coach.
Hendrick
And,
Motorsports.
Yeah, Hendricks and stuff like that. But I mean, he can get to that level, no doubt. We lost Big C's.
All right.
Yo, me and you, rest of the
Elimination
way.
Chamber.
Yes, the chamber, baby. What's up?
All right. So we got the women's elimination chamber match was pretty good.
Take over. Big C's is back.
All right, never mind.
By all means, go ahead, JP.
All right. So only 4 matches, so we can breeze right through this.
Yep.
We had the women's elimination chamber. I thought that was pretty predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Came down to who we thought it was going to. There were 2 in both matches that I thought it was going to come down to.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I think they made the right choice with Rhea. I think they had it.
Yep.
First, they lost the tag belts on SmackDown because I think
good indicator.
A good indicator that, all right, we got to pivot here because we need some ticket sales and we need our top female wrestler in a singles match at WrestleMania.
Yep.
That would be helpful, and we probably could get the other one in a match somehow too. So there was that. And then, yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean, the problem is I was really disappointed in the crowd in Chicago, to be honest.
They did not seem like a Chicago crowd.
No, that was a lame crowd.
I loved CM Punk's Michael Jordan entrance.
That was the best.
Obviously, can't hate on that.
Nope.
AJ Lee winning the Intercontinental title from Becky.
No surprise.
No surprise there. CM Punk doing the HBK photo with both belts covering his privates.
That was great. I loved it.
And let's breeze through the men's match. I thought it was Cody or Randy, no matter who, because of Drew being the champion. Didn't expect him to interfere in the match. Didn't expect Seth Rollins to come back.
I knew Seth Rollins was coming back before me.
Well, yeah, as soon as he said he wasn't anywhere close to coming back.
Well, I also saw him at the Bears game raving, putting his surgically repaired arm in the air, cheering on the Bears in the playoffs. I'm like, this guy's fine.
Yep.
I'm like, this guy's fine.
So, what did you think about, I guess, Randy Orton being the winner of the men's match?
All right. So a couple things here. Either they're really going to try to get Cody Randy singles match at Mania, which me personally, I would do. But there's no.
I would love an Armageddon 6-way Hell in a Cell match with all these blood feuds.
But there's really no build to it right now.
Right.
But
that's been a problem with creative for the past year and a half.
Now, I'll say this. If they make the switch, you have time to do it. Because let's run this through this. Because they've done this before where going into WrestleMania, Austin won the Rumble, beat McMahon, the 99, kind of playing out the same way. Go to St. Valentine's Day Massacre, he gets his title shot, going to WrestleMania, but Mankind's the champ. They have the ladder match. Rock wins the title back. Do I think Drew's going to lose the title? No. Do I think there's a scenario where he does and becomes a single match? Yes. And then you have Jacob and Drew, some sort of street fight going on at Mania. Yeah, I could see that happening. I know there's been talk about a multi-person man match for the title. I don't like that. I don't think WrestleMania needs another multi-person match for a title. That's why I think a 1-month build, if Cody does win the title back from Drew, I think a 1-month build with Randy and Cody, we could have some babyface stuff, and then Randy turns on him, and we could have that going into WrestleMania, which would be fine. I don't have a problem with that. LA Knight pulling the best.
LA botch. Yeah.
But he gets rewarded with an Austin spot on Raw, so that's fine by me. So I think with Mania, the problem is it doesn't work in Vegas. Tickets are priced.
It's terrible in Vegas.
It's terrible in Vegas. We've already tried it once, tried it twice, didn't work. Gotta go someplace else.
Sales are so low. Well, they're going out of the country next time.
What?
Where would you guys have it at?
It was supposed to be New Orleans this year.
Yeah, New Orleans is where you want to go.
Yeah, New Orleans is where you want to go. Or New York, doesn't matter. Come to New Jersey, I don't care.
So I'm thinking Drew has to actually have a lot of title defenses on the way to WrestleMania, and I think that's going to be the story of how they get more people into the match.
Yeah, I mean, I would be fine. He's earned to be the champion going into WrestleMania. My issue with creative is you had I want to put this as nicely as possible, but I know wrestling. I've watched this for a long, long time. I know friends in the industry. I know people. Just shout out to my guy who just won independent show in New Jersey, champion. You need a good story. You had a blow-off 3 stages of hell match to crown a new champion.
Yep.
That means the guy who lost should go away from the title picture for a long time, and that guy.
He should have somebody that like God, that's where I think Kevin Owens comes in. Like if Kevin Owens was around, that would have been Cody's WrestleMania match with no title involved whatsoever because they had that blood history.
Right.
And that would have been so easy, but people are dropping like flies. You can't set something up with Seth. Punk has the championship. Gunther's doing his thing.
Like that's why they have to pivot to a multi-person match, but that doesn't really sell because Cody's the main event. But I do agree. I mean, I would love to see a 6-pack challenge Armageddon Hell in a Cell style. That'd be great.
Yeah, somebody's got to do the Rikishi spot. Off the back of the cell into the back of the truck.
Yo, Fatu could do that spot.
That would be all right. Sorry, C's. You glitched out for a minute, and I brought it to wrestling.
That was great. That was great.
Back to you.
No, I think we're good, guys. It's going to be an interesting week with the trade deadline coming up. Free agency in the NFL is coming up as well in about a week and a half.
Franchise tag watch.
Right? Baseball season's coming up here. We'll talk a little bit more next week on the World Baseball Classic.
Don't care about it. Don't care about it. Don't like it. I hate it.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
It's just a little bit more legitimate than the Four Nations.
And when that's not saying much.
And that's not saying much, exactly.
But I do like watching the World Baseball Classic more than I do the regular season. So
I don't care about the World Baseball
Classic. It doesn't do anything for MLB.
It doesn't do anything for MLB. And none of the big U.S. players play in it, and they don't give a shit when they're there. Like they don't. Like I'm sorry. Like I know Aaron Judge is talking on Pat McAfee, rah, Jack Hughes, and everything. It's not even on this. The World Baseball Classic and the Olympic gold medal is not even on the same page.
Nowhere.
Because the professional baseball players don't go to the Olympics.
That's true.
Because the Summer Olympics is in the middle of Major League Baseball season.
Do you think the Olympics should invite the baseball players?
I mean, do we want the season to go into December?
No. But I feel
I'm all for shrinking the baseball schedule.
I'm all for shrinking the season. Yeah. Like, if you're going to invite the MLB players from around the world to go play.
That's why I'm saying, like, we already want to cut down the season, so let's go ahead and do that and have real baseball players.
I think the problem is when the Summer Olympics happen, it's usually like at end of July, early August. That's literally pennant time. Like it's July and it's All-Star break. Now you're into the stretch run, and then you're hitting September. And yeah, I don't. First of all, the baseball season is way too long. A. B. You better cherish this one because the following year ain't going to be no season.
It's going to be crazy.
It ain't going to be no season, so it don't matter. So, I mean, I'm not a fan of the World Baseball Classic. I really don't care.
A great point by RC saying, how important can the World Baseball Classic be when Judge says it's more important to be the captain of the New York Yankees Team USA than Team USA? I think
the captain of the Yankees is kind of like a title that rises above the sport even.
Yeah. I when you're the captain of the New York Yankees, there's
a lot below captain of the New York Yankees.
Yeah, so like when you're the captain of the New York Yankees, you're the captain of the New York Yankees. Like one of the most decorated franchise in Major League Baseball.
They didn't have anybody be captain since Jeter.
Right. That's a big
You
deal.
have to be the guy.
Yeah. When you're the captain of the Yankees, you're the guy. Like the guy. So, and Judge and Ohtani are the two most recognizable baseball players right now.
Yeah. And hopefully Acuna gets back on track this year.
Yeah, I hope so. I think he's a great player too. But but you're saying, but again, I know the fans around the world get into it, and I'm not going to be Mr. Negative and, all that stuff. I just don't care about it. Like, I just don't care about it.
I only have so much bandwidth.
Like,
I can't add this to my plate.
Like, first of all, like I said, if the U.S. players took it seriously, maybe I'd take it seriously.
Yeah, no, I agree. And great point here by RC.
No,
does he say this if he's the captain of the Olympic team?
No, because the Olympics and the World Baseball Classic are two different things.
Yeah,
this was just a marketing place where people could watch baseball.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, if you ask most diehard baseball fans, they're going to watch the World Baseball Classic, they're going to say no.
100%. Yeah.
Because it's just like, I mean, again, it's just my personal opinion. I don't care about it. I could care less about it. Because like you said, there's so much going on. It's just like, all right, like, but personally, I've watched so much.
This.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the UFL or spring football. It's like, no, like my brain needs to rest from college football and the NFL.
Oh my God,
it's already too much. But
never mind the hockey. It's been year round for the past 4 years with the Panthers.
Right, like, to me, I still follow the Yankees. I still see how they're doing, but like, I used to watch a lot of games. Since covering hockey, it's just like I go to baseball. I'm like, no, like I can't do this. Like, too slow. I legitimately watched the World Series for the first time in a long time because the Dodgers and Blue Jays were so good.
I thought that was a great series.
But outside of that, I'm just like, nah. Like, I can't. Like, I can't. I'll watch the playoffs this year for baseball, but I'm just like, nah. Can't do it.
I love playoff baseball.
I just can't do it during the regular season anymore.
Yeah,
it's a whole separate discussion, but 162 games is too much.
Although you guys do have to agree, the new rules have helped with the pitch count or the clock.
Even
it's
in fine.
Extra innings.
The issue I have with the game is every other batter, the guy's got to get a relief pitcher in.
Yes,
that's my
the
issue.
Thing is,
they're doing the analytics thing to death.
Yeah, I love back in the 90s when you used to watch starting pitchers pitch 105, 125 innings. Yeah. You don't even see that anymore.
No.
And
bring back Roger Clemens.
Yeah.
Bring back John Smoltz.
Maddox.
Maddox.
The TBS team.
Oh my gosh. I grew up on those teams. So
give me Josh Beckett.
Yes. Oh, old timers. Even Lincecum. I know it's a little bit later on in the years, but even watching Lincecum at one point was
he closed out the game. He closed out the game for the Giants in the World Series, like what's his face just did for the Dodgers.
Exactly.
So
incredible.
I mean, he's really not Ohtani. Who's the other pitcher? Who's the other Japanese pitcher on that team? He won the MVP, World Series MVP.
I forgot. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about, right? But he's the dude. He's
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
There we go.
He's the only guy that really goes deep in any game anymore.
What he did in the playoffs was incredible.
Like he pitched 8-9 innings, like it was nothing.
Right? Incredible.
Like, bro came back after pitching like 8-inning complete game, and then just pitched another 4 innings. I'm like, this guy's incredible.
For real.
So, I mean, I don't know, but.
Before we close out, I want to get your guys' opinion. I don't know if you guys saw this story. Really touching by Texas A&M wide receiver KC Concepcion.
Concepcion, yeah.
Message here prior to the last season. Powerful pregame moment with the Aggies before October's game against Mississippi. Met with the boy in the tunnel. They dapped up and told KC, which is a kid, you and me, we're the same. We go through the same thing every day, but don't ever let anybody tell you that what you want, what you cannot do. Go be great, my boy. That's what he told him. This was a picture of him. And for those of you who don't know, a lot of people on social media have been making fun of him and his speech impediment. So
That's so messed
I just
up,
wanted to
man.
bring light into it and
Yo, that's so
kind
messed
of
up.
share,
That's a shame.
me being physically disabled. I get this backlash as well sometimes. You know,
Yo, shame
I
on
want to get your
shame on
guys'
it.
take on what has transpired here in the NFL Combine. What's supposed to be this kid's start of an NFL journey. What do you guys think of this whole situation?
I mean, I think it's unacceptable. I like what KC Concepcion said to that kid. I don't like that people are going after people with disabilities or speech impediments or anything like that. I don't like it. Good for him for sticking up. And I've seen a lot of kids and I've seen a lot of people with disabilities make it in this world a lot better than some of these keyboard heroes out here.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I love what he did. I hate the fact that we still got to address this stuff because there's keyboard heroes out here and keyboard warriors that don't have the guts to say it to anybody's face. As Herm Edwards would like to say, put your name to it. You know, but I don't like it. Good on him for stepping up for that kid. You know, a lot of people deal with speech impediments, disabilities, whatever you want in life. I think I draw inspiration from those people, especially you big C's, because like,
Thank you.
if those guys, I love the workout videos that people share with me. Guys are disabled, but they're.
And how about Frank the Tank?
Yeah, Frank the Tank doing DDP yoga. Come on, come on. Like, look, I think you can put your mind to it. You can do anything you want. Doesn't matter who you are in life. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I used to help coach basketball kids, disabilities. The smiles I saw on these kids' faces, I loved it. Like it was. I mean, I loved it. Like,
and what does him talking have to do with what he does on the field, right?
No, it has nothing. Like, it has nothing to do with him.
Should have been a non-starter.
It's a non-starter. Doesn't matter. But there's a lot of heroes out here that are behind the keyboard that wouldn't say it to the guy's face if they saw him in public. So
and most importantly, they wouldn't say that to the kid.
Right.
Exactly.
So good on the kid's family. So we should just leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly. So
the kid's family did the right thing by standing up for him, but it's silly that
it was a story. Why did this become a story? It shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Too much social media heroes out there.
Yeah, for sure. But I hope he gets drafted this year.
I think he will.
He did really good in the combine, really smooth on the routes, catching the ball ability. He even spoke about being a big Josh Allen fan growing up in New York, close to Buffalo.
Nice.
So that would be his dream. And hey,
that means we're all getting old.
Yeah. I mean, if he gets drafted by Buffalo, it's actually that would
be a great feel good story, right?
Well, not only that, but that's a weapon that Josh Allen actually needs.
Yes.
So I'm just
one thing I noticed about this combine, there were a bunch of players that were like divided into camps. Like you had the players that came there, looked good, had branding, and then there were players that looked disheveled but ready to play.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want the disheveled guy.
Yeah.
Because he's here for the
that
football.
wants to prove the world wrong, right?
He's here for the football. He's not here for the followers.
Right.
Well, personally, I think if you're a scout,
Bain was he was asked about why he looks so disheveled.
Hey, it doesn't matter how I look.
I'm here to play football.
Dude, I know. Great point, JP. They asked him, "Hey, why don't you get a haircut?" What the hell does a haircut have to do with what you do in the combine?
It's like, get over it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Some of the stupid crap these NFL GMs say to these players is so stupid.
It's ridiculous.
But it's all about seeing what the reaction is.
And I will always say this forever and ever, and I want to get a T-shirt. Teams suck at drafting.
They do.
They really do.
They really do. They don't know how to draft. They have no idea how to draft. No idea how to draft.
Nope. And it's
that's why I say come talk to me, because I actually know what the hell I'm talking about.
Hey, I'm right there with you, bro.
I mean, I'm serious. Like, I do know what I'm talking about. Like, when I watch tape, I watch the games every week. I can tell you from the beginning who is and isn't going to be an NFL player on Sunday.
Yeah. I think the first thing is watching film.
Right.
A lot of these teams get enamored with their physicality and their athleticism, and honestly,
watch the. That's why
film.
when I came
Watch the film.
came into the college season, I'm hearing Drew Aller, Cape Covenant going to be Heisman. I'm like, what? What? Did you guys not watch them play the year before?
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
What? No.
That's why it boggles me seeing a lot of these mock drafts where they have Caleb Downs like not even in the top 20. Like, this is one of the best football players coming out of the draft. How you go watch film on every single top 10 guy projected. He is a top 3 pick.
Easily.
Hands down. I don't care if you're playing safety. This guy can change the game.
He's a game changer.
Very.
Period. Discussion closed.
But anyways, gentlemen, that was so much fun. We talked a little bit about hockey.
A lot of
football,
stuff. A lot of stuff. A lot
baseball,
of stuff.
And even some NASCAR and some wrestling.
Let's go.
WrestleMania is coming
Ripley.
up. Can't wait.
Yeah, WrestleMania coming up. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. On behalf of Jim, JP, Big C's, like I always say, one shift at a time, one period at a time, one game at a time. Don't lose hope, Panther fans. It's not over yet.
Who's
Let's
sweet me,
freaking
Hootsy?
go. Let's go.
Ooh, sweet.